Hi there everyone, and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. You are watching, or you are looking at, the remains of the white 940, and basically these are the parts that I have harvested from it. And basically what you're seeing is if I have something that has screws that go in it, I took a little piece of tape, just basic, clear tape here, and here's like a little bracket holder for the cord, and I just put that there, and it may hold for what I'm going to do. Basically, I want to associate the right screws with the right part. And then of course I'm just going to take freezer bags, and or you can use any kind of plastic bag you want. I like plastic because I can see through it. And then I will basically take them, and as I did with the Kenmore, and I'm going to basically section them off, areas of the machine that seem to go together. You can decide for yourself how you want to do it. And then that will be the second machine that I have harvested parts for, and will be, cataloging. So anyway, I'm going to gather these up. You can see, here's another example. Here's the feed dogs. I've got the two screws that go with the feed dogs taped on. And again, I don't know if the tape will hold in the bag, but at least it's kind of a way to try to keep things organized together. These I will remember. I think White must have done this. Normally I do this with nail polish or paint. These are the bolts that hold the hinge pins, hold the machine bed to the hinge pins. Those are kind of easy for me to remember what they are. Anyway, going to be organizing this, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I've bagged everything up together. Well, now everyone, you can see that I have basically bagged everything up. I've listed it with the machine. It says White 940 motor. I know that's pretty obvious, it's a motor, but I actually mainly wanted to remember which machine it went to, so I marked that. Here, again, these pieces, I basically just put the model number. I know what these are. I've got my hand wheel, my clutch, and my side cover with the bobbin winding mechanism there. On this one, I have, again, of course, the machine. I have bobbin, hook, bar area. That's a general area for basically everything on the left side of the machine. And then I took, of course, the light cord, the holders of the light cord, and there's a little plastic bushing that you saw me take out of the bed of the machine. And so, again, keeping these, by the way, on the light fixture, there were two screws you saw me take out, and I just put the screws back into the screw holes where they were. It's the easiest way. If you can attach a screw to where it normally goes, that just helps things out. This little bracket here, this sort of U-shaped metal bracket. I'm just kind of hard to see in the bag there. Let's see if I can get you. There we go, right there. That has two screws, and that bracket, this bracket here, it actually, where my finger's pointing, that bracket, let me pull this out because that's just like looking in a fishbowl. This bracket is what held it's what the light fixture attached to. So I'm putting it with the light fixture, right? Things that kind of go together, you want to keep them together, and that'll make your job easier if you ever go to, maybe you're looking for the part, or you want to, if I ever get another White machine of this model. I haven't got many of this model before, but if I do, I'll have them. And then of course in this one, you'll notice I put tension guides, hinge bolts for the bed, the belt. I can probably add the fact that I have the bolts that attach the top of the machine, the lid, if you will. And I'll probably just put on the bag here, I'll put lid bolts. If I can squeeze it in there. And speaking of the lid, or the top of the machine, there are two things I'm going to take off. You say, well, why bother? They're on here. These are thread guides. Thread guides, and particularly these, they stick way up, right? They're like little antenna, and they could, when I store this, these thread guides could easily get bent or snapped. And I really don't want that. Thread guides to a machine, especially machines that are not, well, any machine really that's vintage. If you've got the thread guides, you want to take care of them. Because trying to find alternates or replacements is not always simple. A few of the Singer thread guides can be found, but not always. So, and so that's basically what I'm doing. I will put these thread guides in with everything that I have in this bag here, which is thread tension. Anything that basically guides the thread, I'm going to put there. And they are there for safekeeping. And as long as, I'll recognize what these are, I know which model they go to. And that way, I can more easily store the lid of the machine, and I'm not that worried about breaking the thread guides, because without them, your machine is not going to sew very well. I think that's the second screw I dropped today. All Butterfingers today. So basically, when I take things off and I store them, I'm doing so in a way that hopefully will make it easier for me in the future. I have had in the past had parts. It's taken me a long time to go through my giant pile looking for something. Some of these parts are small, and this one I'm going to see. I don't know if this tape will hold, but at least for getting it in the bag, trying to keep the screw with the part. It's not always easy because those holes are not threaded. The threaded part is in the lid of the lid piece, and that's the piece that I'm wanting to separate my thread guides from so that they don't go getting lost on me. That would be unfortunate. And the only part that is, there's a little, let's see, there is, let's see, here it is. This piece, which came off of this piece here, which came off of the hook, right? That piece with its tiny little peppercorn-sized screws, it is being kept in here just so it doesn't get damaged, because there are big, heavy pieces in this bag that I've got here with the hook. And I just don't want that bent. That's somewhat of a delicate piece, and I'd like it to stay in one piece. So there you go. So again, what you're seeing here is essentially what I have salvaged quite a lot from the white 940. And as if you have not seen my other videos leading up to this one, keep in mind that this is a very valuable thing, because if a machine cannot be repaired, or if I am unable to find the part, maybe you can. I never throw a vintage machine away because it's unsalvageable as a working sewing machine, because these parts are incredibly precious, and some of them will work on other Japanese-made, Singer clones. It's a class 15 clone. And I say this because many of these Japanese machines, lots of different brands and labels, were made by only a handful of Japanese companies. They're not all compatible, but it takes me very little room to store these. And so this, of course, is what remains of the white 940, and the rest of it, it's the body and chassis will get recycled. Okay, waste not, want not. At least the steel can be recycled. But anyway, these parts will go into my little mini warehouse stash of basic parts. And hopefully they will get used in the future. But I wanted to kind of give you a conclusion to the white 940, because I've had it for a long time. And this is what I call my, I guess we're in early winter cleaning here, trying to reorganize and reset my workshop. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Hopefully you never get to a point where you have to do this. If you are simply a person who wants to restore your own machine, this whole process of saving parts may not be interesting to you. However, please note that even if you don't have the inclination or time to disassemble a machine that's not working for you, at the very least, don't throw it away. Take it to a sewing machine repair shop. They are often, you will find them sometimes in vacuum sales dealerships for some reason, or even offered online. Just say, hey, free, maybe someone needs a part. Throwing things away needlessly is something that bothers me. It always has. Anyway, hopefully you have the same approach to preserving things that might have value in the future. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you in the next video. I believe I have one more machine that I am going to be disassembling, so stay tuned for that.